BMI is a lie, and so are most success metrics. Welcome back to the Money Morning Show. So, I got an episode for y'all today. I was basically talking with my girlfriend in terms of BMI, and I just sparked an idea for this week's episode. And I want to just talk about the fact that we shouldn't allow man made shit like BMI to basically overpower God made principles, God made success, right? Man made, God made is what you should prioritize. So I got my show notes here. We're going to get into it and, just take notes, if you will, or just replay this multiple times so you catch every gem that we drop in and, go from there. If you get value, then keep watching. So, one thing y'all got to realize if you don't know already, BMI literally doesn't care if you're like muscular or not. I don't know if y'all know like the way that I'm shaped, but I'm nowhere near overweight, right? Because I got abs. The last time I checked, my body fat percentage is like 9% or something. But the BMI damn near said, according to BMI, I'm damn near overweight, just because muscle is more dense than fat, obviously, if you don't know. So I need y'all to just relate that to money and business, relate that to just achieving success, relate that to just when you're comparing yourself to people, maybe in the job market, you're comparing yourself to people. When it comes to your business, you're comparing yourself to people in any aspect of life. It could even be comparing yourself to people, since we're talking about like body, it could be comparing yourself to people when it comes to their body, right? Because some of these people out here be getting BBLs, obviously, right? Some of these people out here be doing surgeries, so you don't want to necessarily just go by that man-made thing. And BMI is one of those man-made stuff. Because if I'm overweight, then it's crazy. It's scary out here for people, the just general population. If we're going by the measure that I'm overweight, you know. But yeah, BMI doesn't care if you got muscle or not, so you got to understand that. It just spits out a number, and that's basically how most people measure success in business and in life. So I think y'all get where I'm going as far as relating the BMI to essentially just business success, anything that you want to basically put up there with BMI. BMI is a lie. Just remember that. If you don't remember nothing else from this episode, just remember that BMI is a lie. So I got a quote for y'all, right? So write this down. Just like BMI doesn't see muscle, society doesn't see your grind, society doesn't see your growth, society doesn't see your grit, right? Growth, grit, and your grind. So G it up. You feel me? So when we talk about your grind, when we talk about your growth, when we talk about your grit, when we talk about your relationship with God, right? Society doesn't see all of that. So you got to understand when it comes to, I'm shaking this shit, hold on. When it comes to just being successful and whatever success means to you, just remember like, okay, a lot of this stuff is kind of like the BMI. I got muscle, but the BMI is saying that I'm damn near overweight. I'm putting in the grind and all that. They're not seeing that, you know? So you want to look at it in terms of that. It could be in terms of your credit journey. It could be in terms of your business funding journey. It could be in terms of you trying to get a job. It could be you trying to get a promotion. It could be you trying to scale your business. It could be you doing, whatever. Obviously, I made this series for money and business. So we're going to talk about money and business. If you don't like talking about money, then go grab my book to fix your mindset because money is a very important topic that we do need to openly discuss. If you're running away from talking about money, then that's definitely scary. And you want to elevate yourself. You want to mature to where you're able to talk about money without, getting triggered like that. So, I gave y'all that quote. And one thing y'all got to remember that people love surface level shit, right? So when you look at income, but you're not looking at profit, when you look at your followers, but you're not looking at the impact, when you look at your car, but when they look at your car, but they're not looking at your cash flow, it's a lot of people that got these nice cars, broke as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to that principle as well. And it goes back to what I'm saying about the BMI. So I want y'all to just look at it like, okay, BMI is a lie. Everything I'm being told or everything I'm seeing necessarily about success, everything I'm seeing about accomplishments is not necessarily, what it is because it's like BMI. It's surface level. It doesn't account for everything. We're not seeing the whole picture. And when we see something that's man-made, we've got to look at it in comparison to something that's God-made. God-made success is all the grind and everything that you're doing. That's what we want to respect. The man-made success is like what you see on the surface, what you see in the physical realm, right? What you see in the spiritual, you can't physically see it. That's why it's God-made. The grind, the hustle, everything you're doing, putting in those hours, the consistency, the discipline, the commitment that you're putting in towards that dream or whatever you want, towards your vision, right? So keep that in mind. So most people, they use what they see. So when we talk about a lifestyle, we talk about the flexing and all that, they use that to judge your worth financially. But it's literally deeper than that. Going back to what I said about the car. Some people got nice ass cars, but they broke as fuck. Some people got uh maybe an average car, regular car, but it's paid off and they stack in assets, right? So don't look at necessarily everything that's on the surface as like what it is. Don't look at the BMI as what it is. It's at me as somebody that goes to the gym super consistently. It's that I'm like overweight just because I got muscle, you know. So and I got like I said, I got last time I checked, it was like 8, 9% body fat that I got. I don't know if that's like really, really good. I don't know if that's average. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, kind of like what I was saying, you can have low revenue, but high margin, and then you can be in debt, but you're building assets. All right. So in closing this episode, I don't want to be here all day. And in closing, I just want to say that, next time that you feel behind, just because you're seeing somebody's highlight reel, you want to ask yourself, write this down. Ask yourself, am I chasing numbers or am I building strength? Am I chasing numbers or am I building strength? Right? Because, like muscle, real success, it doesn't show up on the scale. So you got to understand that, like everything I've been talking about, the grind, the grit, the growth, everything you're putting in, it's not going to show up on that scale necessarily. So you want to just align it with that and just ask yourself the same question I just asked y'all. Am I chasing numbers or am I building strength? Right? So no more BMI thinking. Real success doesn't always show up on the scale. I hope that this video bless y'all. If y'all got value from it, you can keep watching. Go watch the previous episode. If you didn't watch the previous episode, go watch the previous episodes. If you're listening to this on the Cap Podcast, because we recently relaunched the Cap Podcast. If you're listening to this just on audio, go to my damn YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube already, then you'll be able to go to the playlist. All platforms, it should be at Mike O. Benjamin, MiChoBenjamin. With that being said, y'all have a blessed one.